All right, folks. Thanks for checking out the video. I want to talk today about a report that shows that the so-called migrant crisis is crushing the poorest residents, and in this case, in New York City. Okay, so from the New York Post here, it says, yet again, hard data prove that progressive madness is smashing New York's most vulnerable. 3 of the 5 New York City zip codes with the city's highest concentration of migrant shelters are among its poorest areas. Zip codes covering places like Jamaica, Queens, and East New York, Brooklyn, with median incomes below $37,300, are getting slammed as migrant inflows climb to more than 200,000 since the start of the crisis. You see some migrants here. The migrant arrivals bring not only an increasing drain on city services, almost $5 billion through May 31st and set to soar over the next 2 years, they also drastically lower the quality of life. Take Long Island City and Queens, home now to 12% of the 193 shelters hosting the 65,000 plus illegal immigrants in city care, shelters clustered around 2 public housing projects. Residents are afraid to take their kids to local parks because migrants reportedly use them as electric scooter racetracks and public sex dens. As one local put it, this is not a third world country. We can't just let anyone come into our neighborhood and do whatever the blank they want. In the 114th precinct, which covers Long Island City, major crime is up 12.3% through the first half of the year over 2022, even as that figure drops slightly citywide. Turns out importing gang members en masse to beat up cops and ride hell for leather on scooters as they snatch purses has a deleterious effect on public safety. Who'd have thunk? And remember that the people who live in these economically hurting areas not only have to put up with the increased crime and disorder. Most migrants are here for a better life, but it doesn't take many members of the Venezuela's notorious Tren de Aragua gang to make a neighborhood intolerable. Even worse, they get free rooms, free food, and debit cards as a reward for breaking immigration law. So, I thought this was interesting here. Of course, we know that these so-called migrants are concentrated in inner city urban areas, which is going to primarily impact Black and Hispanic people that are already living in these areas, U.S. citizens or people who are at least here legally. And just like most Democrat policies, they're the people that get the short end of the stick, right? Now, it's interesting because there's been some polling data that shows that Donald Trump is within striking distance of possibly winning the state of New York. Now, I know that for some people that might sound crazy, and certainly Trump would definitely be the underdog to win that, but it's certainly possible. It's certainly possible because there's a lot of pissed off people in New York City that see what's going on and don't like it. And they're not Republicans, they're not conservative, but they know, that's one of Donald Trump's signature issues since he first ran for office, right? All the way back in 2015. Build that wall, deport the people that shouldn't be here. And there's over 10 million people more that have come into the country under the Biden administration, right? Just since Donald Trump left office in 2021. It's crazy, right? Now, in the 2022 gubernatorial election in New York, the Republican candidate Lee Zeldin came within about 6 points of defeating Kathy Hochul. He ran a great campaign. He did about as good as a Republican has done in New York in a long time, okay? And he did particularly well in New York City for a Republican. Now, if Donald Trump can get a third of the vote in New York City, he's got a shot. He's got a shot because the areas outside of the city are probably going to favor him, right? So we'll see. Trump did have a rally in the South Bronx not too long ago. Had a great crowd. Had a great turnout in a place where Republicans don't do rallies, folks. They don't do rallies there. But only one man, Donald Trump, can do it. So in any case, that's what I think. Let me know what you all think. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.